In 2013, the creation of ITCBio began with the main objective of developing a platform that provides support to clinical research. The main characteristics of ITCBio are the high level of scalability, be completely designed with open source technologies, the orientation towards standardization and integration, development of complex analysis, and the visualization of biomedical information. The ITCBio project was born in Seville, Spain, but its expansion began soon throughout the Andalusian region. Currently, ITCBio is being used by more than 600 researchers in 60 studies, involving 53,000 patients and 20 hospitals. GeoHealth was born as an ITCBio plugin that allows integrating, visualizing, and analyzing the influence of environmental variables associated with the patients based on their location. For the development of GeoHealth, extraction, processing, and loading pipelines have been developed for the integration of open data from a set of national and regional sources in the system. GeoHealth has been developed using open source technology and Python as the main coding language. Some of the data sources are the Andalusian Institute of Statistics, the Spanish Society of Allergology, the Spanish Meteorological Agency, and the National Institute of Statistics. One of the most important features of GeoHealth is the integration of all the open data in a single interactive map. This section allows researchers to explore the processed data that has been integrated into the system. GeoHealth represents a heat map to understand the distribution of patients or the distribution of other demographic variables. The entire map is clickable. Once an item is clicked, the information associated with it is displayed in a window on the right side of the screen. Some of these possibilities are the selection of one or more census sections that allow researchers to explore the values of the different demographic variables. It's also possible to observe the time series of pollution, meteorology, and pollen, as well as to choose the desired date range for the representation of the data. In this section, the results of a population segmentation developed to study and determine the different population clusters and their characteristics that exist in the region of Seville, Spain, have been integrated. Clustering and data mining techniques have been used to discover and characterize the different clusters. GeoHealth offers a map where all the census sections of the region and the cluster or group to which they belong are represented based on their demographic characteristics. On the right side of the screen, it's possible to observe the distribution of population by cluster as well as the distribution of patients by cluster. At the bottom of the screen, there is a set of graphs and tables that allow understanding the value of the variables that characterize each cluster, and a brief explanation of those characteristics. GeoHealth offers valuable information to understand the demographic characteristics of the patient's environment and to be able to develop studies that analyze their influence on patients' health. In this section, the concentration of pollutant measured by the stations are interpolated and therefore spread throughout the territory. The system allows to represent the contamination levels for a specific date or date range. The objective is to associate a value per pollutant to each census section and therefore to the patients who live in it. The use of Air Quality Health Index scale, developed by the Canadian government to understand the impact of populations on people's health, allows knowing not only the level of risk to which the population is exposed based on their concentration of pollutant, but the recommendation for the population based on their health conditions. In this last section, the clinical researchers can explore, manipulate, and represent the demographic and clinical data of the patients included in the study. It's possible to represent the distribution of a variable using the graphs such as the histogram or the pie chart, as well as to represent two or more variables to understand the relationship between them using 2D or 3D graphs. GeoHealth is being used in a study that analyzes the impact of the environment on 100,000 asthmatic patients in Andalusia during the last 15 years. The system allows obtaining data for the development of predictive models that help decision making through the use of data mining and machine learning techniques. In addition, the data integrated in GeoHealth can be shared, exported, and used in some of the most popular clinical research systems such as Transmart or E2B2. In conclusion, GeoHealth is a system that provides valuable information to clinical researchers and allows the development of studies of great value, analyzing the impact of the environment on humans' health.